Shalom, 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 alaikum, Yashara. And hey to the Gentiles that are following after Yah's righteousness. I'm King Brittany Chanel. A king is a descendant and a ruler of a divine people. That divine people being the children of Yahweh. That divine people being the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We are not lost, but scattered worldwide. Let's get started with today's video. So you all know that my channel name is Mocha Modesty. You guys know that that is what my ministry is about. Modesty and returning back to the Father. We, Yashara, are like the prodigal son, returning back to Yahweh. What is modesty? Modesty is the fleeing from vanity, right? Fleeing away from vanity, because a lot of people have a religious mindset on modesty, and then there's the actual real definition of what modesty is. Modesty is fleeing away from vanity. Vanity is anything that will profit you nothing. Anything that is vain. Like when you think of something, a person that's vain, they're very shallow. There is no depth. When you think of somebody that's vain, they're very much into appearance, right? But the inner character, like there's really not a lot of taste. People that are vain, like I said, they lack modesty. Modesty is what we would call, and I like I said, I don't call Yahweh God. That is a Christian terminology, but they lack, you know, in lack of better words for right now, they lack godliness, okay? Like I said, I'm a Yasharelite. I am not a part of any organizations, any camps. I'm not a part of any church organizations. A Yasharelite is somebody that is ethnically a bloodline descendant of one of the 12 tribes of Yasharal, okay? It is a real thing, okay? I know a lot of Christian people, due to the Catholic Church, you know, the remixation of the Bible, shall I say, when we went into captivity for our disobedience, our idolatry. Once again, idolatry and vanity, they go hand in hand. And worshiping of other gods, the Father put us away from him for a season, right? So we need to wash ourselves up, get up from that pig slop, and return to our Father's house like we got some sense, okay? So that is what is going on with our people. So our people went into the transatlantic slave trade. We were in Spain. We were in Portugal. We were in all parts of Africa. We were also over here, right? But the thing about the ones that were over here, because we were exploring places way before European colonization. Let's not get it twisted, right? The reason why they knew to come over here is because when the curses and the stuff fell upon us, it was like they were allowed, boom, to come over and to colonize these different places because of our disobedience to the Father, okay? So modesty is about getting your mindset back to obeying the Father and fleeing vanity. Now, you might say, KB, why are we here right now? We're here right now because it's been put on my heart to talk about a topic that has came across my desk, darling. What is that topic that I'm talking about today? Well, I told y'all it was going to be a day that the men in our community was going to be begging. I'm talking about from Gentile man to Yasharelite man. They are begging women to put some darn clothes on. They are begging. Now, like I said, I'm not a person that's talking about modesty from a religious standpoint, because again, you could be a person that's immodest and immoral and you could be fully clothed with things on, right? So modesty is a total lifestyle change. It is not just a change of dress. It is a total lifestyle change and a surrenderance to the Father. So modesty basically what it would look like is when you spiritually change your thought process and flee vanity to return to the Father, the outward manifestation of that will show. But people who are demonically infested with demons of lust, that Leviathan spirit, those perverse Jezebelic spirits, and this ain't just men, this ain't just women, fellas. You could have a Jezebelic spirit and a Leviathan Python spirit on you as well, that folks just need to recognize when people are demonically infested and they need deliverance. Okay? Because this stuff you could kind of see in a person's actions in the outward manifestation due to their dress as well. So you look at what kind of actions they're doing and the dress as well. Modesty, like I said, is a total lifestyle change, right? So the men are begging women to put on clothing. And I believe that that's because Yahweh, like I said, Yahweh is disgusted with some of this stuff. Now, when I talk about modesty, I'm not talking about you have to have all your elbow covered, all of that covered, because that's a religious standpoint. Again, like I said, you have some people that they doing all that, honey, and they no good, right? What I mean is, fellas are like, they're going to the gym, because I seen clips. I'm going to put a little brief snippet of the clip because I seen a content creator talk about that.
These gym outfits are getting out of control. So when you go to the gym now, sometimes what these girls are wearing is just like, it's so revealing that there's nothing left to the imagination.
And they're going to the gym and they're like, they cannot stand the fact that women are coming in there nasty with their moose knuckle, which I don't even know what the heck, where they got that from. I'm gonna call it what they used to call it back in the day. Their camel toe, camel print showing. The like leggings all stink up in the behind, just nasty. And the thing that's, I'm gonna tell you what's nasty about it. Health wise, I'm gonna tell you. As a Yasharelite woman, I don't even like to really wear pants and jeans. Not from a religious standpoint, because I don't get into that campiology stuff that they tell these women. I just prefer dresses for my personal preferences and health choices. But just let's think about this. They're making this clothing out of polyester. Y'all know y'all Heavenly Father, he don't like nothing co-mingling together that he ain't already create, right? So he say, Yasharelite supposed to be with Yasharelite. The same bird with the same bird, the same heifer with the same heifer, this plant, the same plant with the same plant, and that's how he goes forth, right? So all of his creations have a same counterpart. So even when it comes down to your fabrics and stuff that you're putting on your body, he like it just regular. Put fabrics that are not mixed on your body, because you know, they're healthier for you, like cottons, hemps. They're healthier for you, like energy wise, and they're healthy for your skin. Because I noticed that if I wear anything that is of those performative fabrics, y'all know the performative fabrics that they use for sportswear and things like that, it causes irritation. Now, why are you saying this, KB? These women be walking around with this sports performing fabric on, and you know the rest, and it's all up in that thing, and it be all up in that thing, wafting and all kind of stuff that for your reproductive health is not a good thing for you. You know what I'm saying? And it's just because their mindset, and you could tell some of these women that's demonically infested with demons of lust. Like I said, this is why as a woman, you need to allow the Most High God to totally strip you of makeup, the hair extensions. If you have an addiction to hair extensions, you know if you have an addiction to hair extensions. Don't lie to yourself. Do not put that human hair on. That human hair causes possession in some people, right? For even cultural self-esteem, I tell women, do not put other people's phenotypes on and think that you're going to keep your own self-esteem. You're not. And then to turn around, because I'm also going to talk about on this video, the same people whose phenotype you're replicating, that your ops are laughing at you because you have their phenotype on and they feel superior to you. But that's a whole different story. And we talked about, like I said, how some of that stuff has the chemicals and stuff. They trying to do stuff with that. So if you're even going to do stuff like braids and stuff, ladies, use wools or yarns, threading and stuff like that. And there's also plantain and plant-based hair you could use, okay? It don't look no different than the hair that you've been using. And it's biodegradable. So if you throw it in the trash, it's about to go back into the earth and go, to where it can be in the dirt or whatever, recyclable. Okay? Now getting back to it. So these ladies, they're walking around and they're walking about the gym in these nasty outfits. And I'm going to tell you another thing, another perverseness that's about it. A lot of these women, honestly, are not even doing this for men. If we really want to be real, they ain't even doing it for men. So you like, KB, who they doing it for? Honey, this is Babylon. This is Rome. What were they doing in Rome? Because if the men is telling you, yo, we just would like you to put some clothes on. And to a certain extent, it's like after a man sees something over and over again, the thrill is gone. It's kind of like when a person that takes substances, after that first go, they gotta keep doing stuff to get a dopamine hit, to get that fix, right? So now that is the same thing what women are doing, right? So women don't realize that they're setting themselves up for failure. You literally have women, and these are not righteous women. These are wicked women that are fighting so that they could walk around with no clothes on in the street for their right to do that. And the same women that's going to be crying tears because what they don't realize is the world has increased its wickedness, right? Because we at the end of the story. Yahushua getting ready to come shut all this down. We're at the end of the story, pretty much. So what was they doing in the times of Noah, in the times of Sodom and Gomorrah? Perverseness to the core. Let me take a sip of my coffee. Got me a berry espresso, y'all. But look, yeah, just pure perverseness. So what was going on is there were public displays of affection. And and when I say affection, I don't mean affection that people want. I mean affection that was not really wanted. There was groups of people that was into that sort of thing. So imagine a woman walking about, she got one piece of material on, and if she bend over, you see everything. Demons have an appetite. So if you open up the door, because a lot of these men have opened up the door. A lot of these young ladies have opened up the door for these demonic spirits, and they're watching adult content, adult material. Demons, after they get that first, subtle way they come at you, then boom, the dopamine hit wants to increase, right? So now they done went from secretly sneaking that adult content in their household to now that demon is like, you need to go out and get the real thing. Now, this demon done convinced your silly behind to walk around, because that ain't nothing but the demonic manifestation of the demon that wants to walk around without no clothing on in a perverse fashion. Because anybody that was righteous would want to have some decency to have their clothing on where they're not trying to show their private parts pronounced to the world. You would know that that's a intimate thing, a private thing for your husband or your wife. Because I'm talking about men too that do that nasty stuff, walking around with nasty. Some of these men with these tight leggings on. You know who I'm talking about. Now, getting back to it. So the demon now is telling this dude who's been secretly watching this material, go out and get the real thing. And guess what the women from the material look like? They look like yo behind and want to be out here naked in the street. They want to have them skin tight clothing on. They want to twerk at the red light, twerking on them headlights. They looking for you at this point. And the Most High already listen. If you notice, and I'm gonna ask y'all ladies in the comment section, it's a lot of melanated sisters that are getting, whacked. If you notice, do you notice what a lot of them dress like? Do you notice what a lot of them, they paint their face with crimson? There's a look to that, baby. And it say what? A lot of them that's getting taken out by their lovers. What do it say in the word? It say your lovers will despise thee. Because the father is disgusted with the whoredoms. He's disgusted with the prostitution. He's disgusted with it. They're gonna be it's because you got people in the manosphere talking about accountability. You're gonna be held accountable also, because there's not a whore without a whoremonger. Understand that. When the Most High is judging things, you gonna be held accountable, and she gonna be held accountable. What you think this is? Now, getting back to it, the men are like, please. We just want to come to the gym and work out. Now, the thing that I don't like that a lot of these women do, they know they're going well that they would be upset if a dude was on the machine with his package out or some tight things that was revealing his stuff. They would think he was a pervert. But you don't think that you are seen as a perv as a woman with all your stuff hanging out. Y'all, I have disgustedly looked at women in public, like the ones that come with they chest and the shirt is all the way down to here, and they just in your face. You could tell demonically infested. They're demonically infested. Or this you put them pants on, and then you had the nerve to put pants on, and you seen that they put that perforation down the behind part of the pants or the dress to separate your behind cheeks, and you thought that was acceptable. You really think that you're going to get anybody in society to take you seriously. And then they lie to themselves and say, oh, people should be able to control themselves. Listen, I don't know if y'all seen that it was a lady on the train and a dude was taking advantage of her on the train for several stops. There's dudes or people walking around trying to walking behind women in grocery stores. Like, think it's a game out here, because the demonic activity has increased as we're in the end times. So it's all cute in games till it's not. It's all cute in games with your bent over on TikTok and acting like you're cooking and you're in your drawers till somebody is trying to find your location to where you're at. These women think it's cute till it's not. And as I said, demons, because a lot of that stuff, the fashion and the dress that women wear today, it comes from the marine kingdom. That kingdom is very demonic, very much sexually promiscuous. It has an aesthetic to it. The wet look jeans, the wet look hair, the wet look makeup, the honeycomb lips, all of that stuff that they participate in, the siren claws, all of that stuff has a look. Demons are attracted to that look because they gave that stuff to women